Hello and welcome. I am Light, and this is my podcast. Hello, Rob.
Hello, Teresa.
How are you?
I'm okay, thank you. Nice to be doing this again.
I know I've missed it quite a bit.
It's only
So
been
I'm going to
eight
give,
years.
yeah, it's been 8 years. Yeah. So much has changed. Well, I'm going to give a little background on what's going on and, uh, and yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So, starting in September, every few weeks, I was going to the hospital and being admitted for several days, 4 or 5 days at a time. And I'm currently home and on with a midline in my arm. And if you don't know what a midline is, it's like, say they put it in your bicep. It's like an IV, except for they put in a tube that goes all the way up the rest of my arm, across my armpit, and down into my chest. And then I receive medication through that, which has been antibiotics um, for I don't even know now. I don't 6 weeks. And the
About that, yeah.
antibiotics make me uh, really sick. There, the problem is this: my body is living in the 1700s, and we don't. And antibiotics are having an issue with me. Um, so if I am prone to getting infections. And when I do, I have to be hospitalized because I can't take prescription antibiotics anymore because my body is resistant to them because everything's a contest and my antibodies have to win. So even in my DNA, I have to win. And my antibodies are like, no, you're not in control here. So I have to go into the hospital and use um, like next level antibiotics and um, be monitored and all that stuff. And I get sepsis immediately. So if you don't know what sepsis is, that's a bacterial infection of your blood. And of course, your blood goes through every organ and your brain. And so that affects me and makes me kind of like foggy brained. You might not know the difference, but Rob does because I can't ever think of what words are. What's that word, Rob? It goes in between two words. And yes. Yeah. So that's what I'm doing now. And I was supposed to have a surgery scheduled that was going to, it's a long story, but it was going to help the situation. And that surgery has been kicked back. So I don't know how long I'm going to have the midline in my arm, but um, that's where I am now. So that's been what has been going on and why I haven't been able to do anything on the channel is that I've just been knocked on my ass and couldn't get up. And I am feeling better. So I'm going to try to go ahead and put my nose to the grindstone and come back. What do you think, Rob?
I think you'll do fine. New year, nearly.
New Year. The last two New Years have really sucked. So I'm hoping that the third one is a charm.
Yeah.
2020 was a bad year for everybody. 2021 was a bad year for everybody. And then I got extra on my plate, and a lot of people did. And of course, in 2020, I had lost my father. So I'm hoping this year is the year. And I was supposed to go on a cruise this month, but that didn't work out because couldn't go. And you know, maybe next year I can join the living. What do you think, Rob?
I think you will be surprised at how well this year goes. I've got a funny feeling it's going to be your year.
Well,
Ne- Next year.
I read in the newspaper yesterday that the something is rising in the something, and it's Pisces year, and we're going to get everything we ever wanted and more. It, and it's going to be successful. It's going to be healthy. It's going to be lovely and warm. And so I'm going to take that and run with it. That's ancient art of astrology. I'm going to go ahead and maybe trust that. By the way, if you can hear anybody in the background, that is my son. I'm sorry. Uh, he's streaming a game. Sorry.
Mm, okay.
Um, I, so what we're gonna do, Rob and I are just gonna hang out and talk with you guys. And I want to say this: thank you so much for all of the well wishes and the concern, and I mean everything. Thank you so much for everybody being patient and saying that they'll wait for me and all of that. I really appreciate that. And YouTube did a cleaning of everybody's um, subs, and they took away 40 of mine, so we're 40 away from 3,000 again. That's nice.
You didn't tell me that.
I just found that out today, right before we got
All
on.
right. All right. Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I checked to see how close we were to 3,000 because we were super close, like 3 away, and then I kept not getting it. I was not getting it. I'm like, what is happening right now? Well, they go through and they take like the fake accounts away and accounts that people haven't used and whatever. So they took 40 of mine away. I mean, it's not bad in the long run, but still, I have a box full of stuff to give away. We might just have to do an almost 3,000 subscribers giveaway. I'm getting impatient. How's your holiday season been, Rob?
Over here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Looking forward to Christmas. We've got my daughters here, and obviously I like having Christmas Eve here. I like having my daughters with me on Christmas Eve because it's my birthday, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, going out
Good.
for Christmas dinner.
Good.
Um, so yeah.
Well, it's been lovely here. Well, you know that this is my favorite time of year. So I'm even if I'm not feeling well, it's still my happiest time of year. And and as you know, we went quote unquote away. We had a staycation last week, and I was sick the first night. Yeah, you know when you wake up in the middle of the night and your mouth is all watery and you're like, oh God. Well, yeah, that was my first night of staycation. It did improve, but it was lovely. It was beautiful. We stayed at this place, um, literally 23 minutes from me. That is amazing, stunningly beautiful. It's Christmas in everywhere you look. There's Christmas. Um, the lights. I just I just loved it, and they pipe in the smell that smells to me like um, tobacco, pipe tobacco, and that pipe tobacco is one of my top. I don't even know top 2 cents, and I buy candles with tobacco in it. I buy perfume that's supposed to smell like they call it like the library or um, old authors. And those are tobacco scented perfumes. I love it. And a river goes through this building. And so the combination between the pipe smoke and the watery smell just lulled me into this Christmas. Then they have this a piano player who is in a piano bar, and I just can't tell you. Fireplaces. It just it made me feel like a kid for Christmas, and that hasn't happened in a very long time. We took my two youngest children, who are adults. But we took my two youngest children, a 19-year-old and 23-year-old, and they became children, and they we, decorated gingerbread cookies, and they painted paintings of ornaments and ice skating. And we went to this they have this light show that different like it's not a light show in the way you would see it in the sorry I was I couldn't breathe for a second that you would see it in the sky, but like different like they would hang like a bunch of white lights down, and you'd walk through this tunnel of white lights, and or lit up huge ornaments and huge trees that changed their color and to from like snowflakes to lines, and it was just we had good food, and it was perfect. I really needed something that wasn't stressful for a while, and it was perfect. So if you guys want to come over next Christmas, I think I'm doing it again. Let's go. Let's get a group deal. We're gonna take Halloween to Christmas. That'd be fun, huh? We could all like wear exit light shirts with like those like the thumbprints that you see, like like the thumbprint mark right in the front. It says exit light, and there's like magnifying glass and shit on it, and skeletons and all kinds of weird shit. And then we could take it over. That'd be fun.
Sorry, excuse me.
And you could come, Rob.
Yay!
Yay! And
But
of course,
other
you
than
guys
that,
didn't. Uh huh.
I was going to say, but other than that, you're all right.
Other than that, I'm great. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. I had started a brand new round of antibiotics before we left, which was the whole problem with me being sick. But I told Rob before we left, I was like, I'd rather be sick in Christmas Town than sitting at home. So that's fine. And then I loaded up a whole bunch of pictures on my Instagram for Rob and the girls to see.
And they were beautiful.
Because you're a member of my family. My voice just sounds like a 14-year-old.
So, what have we got planned for the future?
For the future, um, my husband and I have decided that there are a lot of small ghost towns in Texas, a lot. And we're going to start going to see them, taking day trips on the weekends. And I'm going to start filming those and maybe doing maybe even doing some ghost hunting because why not? And I think that would be a lot of fun. I think
And
I'd like to add that. Yeah.
if you lot do any ghost hunting, tell us about it. Send us some
Y-
photos.
Yeah, really though. Yes. Yeah, if
Well,
you
if
guys
you
do
can
any
do
ghost
that.
hunting, Well, they can send them through the email, which apparently mine doesn't work, but Rob's does. Although Rob can send me email and it comes through, I don't know. But if you want to send photos, you can send them to Rob and he'll forward them on. And I can put them on a slide on a video, and that'd be fun.
Yeah. So
But I think that's what I want to do this year. I think I want to venture out, not mingle with people, because we've got this new variant that's knocking people down right and left, and I just want to go out and video and take pictures of these ghost towns that are supposed to be haunted and historical, which I love. Everybody here knows I love history. I think that'd be a new step. You should get out and do that too, Rob. You should go
um
video the Moors.
well, it's funny actually you should say that because on Sunday when I was driving back from dropping the girls off,
Hmm.
I I had the problem with my legs and stuff. I
Hmm.
stopped. It had just gone dark, and we've got a really really low full moon at the moment for some reason.
Mm.
It's called the Wolf Moon or something, or something ridiculous. It's got some special lunar name.
Mm.
And I was on top of the moors, and I thought of you,
Thank you.
so I will have to take some pictures
Yes.
and um, and send them to you. But can I just say this?
Mhm.
And then we haven't spoken about this, so I apologise.
Uh-uh.
Um, I would like people through this next year, as far as the channel is concerned, to maybe try and get people more involved, where they submit their stories or their ideas or their experiences. Because I think when we did the 31 days of Halloween, that was really one of the highlights for me.
Me
For
too.
people, for people to do that. I know it's difficult and you're putting your, what's the word, sort of heart on your sleeves type of thing when you submit a story or an experience,
Mm.
but we would be very, very sensitive to people, and we wouldn't ever exploit anyone.
Well, no, and you could even send a recording, and if you weren't sure how to do that, you could always ask, and I would tell you. Um, obviously Rob does that. Um, and that would be, I think that'd be fun too to have some people talking about some experiences they've had or tell a story or, that doesn't have to be a story that like doesn't have to be true, but is original, by the way. Don't copy somebody else's story. Um, you know, narrate a story is what I'm trying to say. Or, tell us about if you live somewhere where there's a famous murder, maybe not a famous murder that people don't know about, but was yours, the whole town was enthralled in it. I think that would be awesome. Like real towns experiences with a local crime that sent shockwaves through it that maybe didn't get to be national or super famous, but you can tell us about it. I think
Yeah,
that'd be a, a lot of fun to do on this channel now.
and also, if you're a serial killer who drives a lorry,
Yeah,
then we would love to hear from you.
you
Let's
call
face it,
in.
would anyway.
Yes, call me and I'll record it. And yeah, I'll let of course, they are going to be truck drivers, of course.
Yeah, that's what I meant, lorry truck. Yeah,
Yeah, of course. Rob and I were talking the other day, and I was for some reason talking about my brother, who a lot of people on here will know as Uncle Mike. And I was telling him that growing up, he had a lot of the, and I'm not even kidding, a lot of the, oh, what am I trying to say? Like, not symptoms, but a lot
Do
of
you?
the characteristics of what
Yeah.
they say, like baby serial killers have. Like lighting fires, killing animals. The lying liar who lies. Those kind of things. And then I told him that he used to paint semi trucks. I was like, oh my god, my brother's a serial killer. And so Rob said, "You mean anybody that has anything to do with semi trucks now? Are we raising the bar here?" Yeah. Okay. It would explain a lot about my brother.
Well, my mate Nigel's just got two trucks, and he's not a serial killer. Well, I don't know.
You know, we know better than that. I know, Nigel. Don't take this the wrong way. You don't need to break my knees, but it's a possibility.
But
I mean, especially now that he's driving trucks.
yeah.
Don't discount it, Rob.
Oh dear. Nigel won't be listening to this podcast.
Do you guys know that when I call Rob and he's got somebody there and he answers the phone on speakerphone, he has to tell me, I'm on speakerphone, please don't talk, so that I don't say something, you know, that could get him into trouble.
But on the, I I know people who listen to us loads will know I'm Catholic and I go to mass. People at mass
Oh gosh.
basically are expecting, because for some bizarre reason that only
I don't
Tracy
know.
knows,
I don't even
she
know.
ri- she rings during mass. Now I
I know.
obviously have my phone. I have my phone turned off, but you can hear it vibrate obviously because it's quiet in mass when we're supposed to be praying.
Mm. That's why I call. I want to remind you to pray for me.
And the other day, it rang. My phone rang or vibrated, and one of the guys said, "Is that Tracy?" I thought to myself, "Well, not even here." Everybody knows. So I actually, after mass on Sunday, I actually rang you. I don't know if I told you this. I actually rang you, but you didn't answer.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was going to
I must have been
introduce you to
calling
Father.
somebody else during mass. You were going to introduce me to who?
To Father.
You were?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice, Rob. That's nice. What if he combusted after that?
What have you what?
What if he combusted after that?
Combusted.
Yeah, combusted. You know, burst into flames.
Yeah, I know what it means, but why would it?
Because he was talking to me.
Oh,
That was very nice, Rob. I would love to meet your father, your pastor
Father
father,
John. Father
Father
John.
John. Yes, yes. Somebody asked Rob if that was me, and then somebody else said, "Who's Tracy?" And then Rob had to go on it. No, the man who's Irish, like myself, had to tell everybody who I am. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I don't know why the time. I don't know how the timing works out like that. I do not. I do not know. And the strange thing is that I think don't even think about you taking your phone to church, and I think that the girls will be home and that they'll answer it. Like they'll be like, because sometimes they do. They'll say, "Tracy, Dad's at church," and then I talk to them for a few minutes, and then I don't know what's wrong with me, Rob. I really don't. I know. I'm sorry, but I'm very popular at Rob's church now. So
Yeah. People must be thinking now, or maybe they have in the past, why going to church and all this and being religious, and then but we do uh, a YouTube channel on ghosts and murderers and
yeah, well, yeah, we we have to even it out.
yeah,
Yeah, we're interested in all kinds of weird, macabre stuff. Wait,
yeah.
he tortured them? In which ways? Yeah, I don't. I don't know. It evens out.
Mm.
Maybe I don't know. I do know that truck drivers aren't that fond of me, though. Have you ever seen the TV show Dexter?
No, I've heard of it. I haven't watched it.
Well, it's on again. I think it
Okay.
was originally. I want to say it was originally on HBO, but now it's on Showtime, and I couldn't watch it because I don't have Showtime. But it's a long story, and I've been able to watch it. And I started watching it yesterday, and one of the very first scenes in the very first episode is a truck driver pulling up into a truck stop, and I just thought, oh my god, do not tell me that this is a serial killer. It wasn't. It wasn't, but I was excited about it.
You really, Tracy really does think that truck drivers may have some connection to
No,
serial killers.
no, I really do. I seriously, well, like 6,000 serial killers at any one time in the United States. 6,000. You can't have that many serial killers getting away with serial murders if they're not on the move. And like I always refer to this documentary that I watched about, it was about all those dead, I believe that all of them were prostitutes that kept showing up on the beach in New York. And from that stems this entire uh, like they're trying to determine who the serial killer is, this documentary, and it is where I got the whole information about every truck goes through Oklahoma, and and just got into this rabbit hole about that there's this secret kind of language that other truck drivers admit that they hear on the radio, but they don't understand because it's like in a code thing, like, by the way, the cinnamon roll is hot, you know, 10-4. I don't know. And then, but it makes sense why somebody on the East Coast disappears, but they find their body on the West Coast, or freaking the Gulf Coast, and why that can happen, vice versa. And why people go out unidentified is because you find a body in Nevada that went missing in Maine, and all the posters and the wanted posters were in Maine. Nobody in Nevada saw him. It just makes sense to me.
I think
6,000 serial killers. Think about that. They got to have some kind of profession where they can be on the move.
I think the logic behind what you're saying is really good, but I'm not. I'm saying that not tongue in cheek or anything,
Uh-huh.
but I think to point out to pull one um, type of
Group of
employment out
people.
like Laurie
Hmm.
is. I mean,
I mean, I'm
have you
not
told
saying all
people?
truck drivers are serial killers, okay? I'm saying that a lot of serial killers are truck drivers.
And have you told people how you came to that decision about the guy that bought the? You're in a petrol station or gas or whatever you call them,
That
and
really
you bought.
solidified this to me. Yeah. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Tracy was in a gas station
In Oklahoma City.
in Oklahoma City,
It was a truck
and there
stop.
was a truck stop, and there was it. She was waiting to pay for a
Mm-hmm.
fuel, and a guy who was a truck driver.
Mm-hmm.
Did he pay? Was it some books, kids' books?
Yes. He was standing there in line, and he was an older guy. Like, I I don't want to put my foot in my mouth. He was close to like retirement age, I would say, for
Right.
truck drivers or in general. Yeah, go ahead. And he bent over and he just randomly started picking up all these kids' books and like coloring books and crayons. And it didn't matter that he had like was getting two or three at a time. Uh, and
Yeah, and he bought them.
hmm
Now Tracy's mind jumped. She didn't jump to the fact that he might have grandchildren,
mm-mm.
and he might just because I used to drive a truck, and I've picked stuff up for kids and stuff, and I'm not a serial killer.
Your kids,
Well, not necessarily always my kids, but
the kids you had in the truck.
no, I didn't have them in the truck.
Oh, okay.
Like when I first started seeing Sam,
Uh
he
huh.
had a little boy, so I would pick up stuff for him, and because I'm a nice
Mm-hmm.
person.
Creepy.
Tracy's mind jumped straight to serial killer.
Yeah, I was. We walked out at the same time, and he was like walking really slow, and I had my kids with me. Um, and we walked out at the same time, and he just there was a bad juju about this guy. I wouldn't have asked this guy to pour water on me if I was on fire. It was he was he was a serial killer. If somebody's listening right there and I'm like, wait a minute, I was in a gas station doing that once. Is he talking about me? Yes. I am. It was weird. It felt wrong. It just really solidified. I'm like, I am in Oklahoma City in a truck stop where, everybody has to go through blah blah blah. And it just was like this is proof. He felt
So
weird and he kept staring at me like, why are you staring at us? I mean, I'm beautiful and all that, but
what
it was
he was
not
staring at you?
he was staring at me and the kids and not in a like it just didn't feel like one of those like I'm a creepy old man looking at women vibe. It wasn't even that. It was just like could I fit all three of them into my truck? I don't know. It was weird. It was a predator kind of a vibe. So there you go. There's my solid proof.
There you go.
But
Nailed
there
that.
have been a lot of serial killers. Even Eileen Warnos was a truck driver.
Yes,
The Green River
she
Killer worked on semis. I'm telling
yeah.
you, there's a connection here. I mean, every cop show that has a serial killer, they end up going to truck stops at some point. I mean, I don't know
Well,
what more proof you need, Rob.
the pain. The America was America started off the behavioural science FBI Chronicle and all that,
Yeah.
and um, what do they call it when they
Yeah.
like criminal minds
Yeah,
type
that is
approach?
behavioral science. That is
Profiling, profiling.
profiling. Yes, yes.
Do you not think one of them might come up with that?
Well, yeah. That's how they caught Eileen Warnos.
Oh dear me.
And nobody even calls me and asks me my opinion. It's so rude. But what other occupation could have you kill in one state and then be out of that state and killing in the next couple days.
He worked on the railways.
There has been serial killers. As a matter of fact, Oklahoma just caught one.
Oh,
I told you about like a month ago. Caught a serial killer. They got him off the train. There was that African American serial killer down south. Like I don't live in Texas. I think he was in Texas. Who uh, was on the railways. That's how he got away. You're right. Maybe I should start looking at train conductors. I'm gonna add those to the mix. Good job, Rob. But not like gray. Well, not a Greyhound. What the hell's our trains called?
I don't
Uh,
know.
you guys know. But like a kind of trains that ship goods. You know, coal and stuff. Those kind of trains.
Yeah.
One kind of train I was almost killed by several Octobers ago. That's a good idea, Rob. That you could just hop on a train.
Yeah.
Okay, so two professions. What about airplane pilots? But they live somewhere though. What about airplane pilots? Could be airplane pilots.
Yeah.
Anybody who works in a state park. Sorry about that, but I mean, let's be real.
So basically, it's anyone can be a serial killer. Basically, sorry everybody.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you strive and you work hard enough, you're dedicated, anybody can be a serial killer.
It's like an achievement.
Yeah. But I keep going back to the fact that the truck people said that they hear chatter on there that doesn't make sense. That they themselves think that there's a serial killer like network or
Well,
or human trafficking network.
yeah, that's a whole different ball game, isn't it? But yeah, I do think that um, human trafficking is, yeah,
Is it more? Is it more? Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Is there a lot more human trafficking now than there was before? Or are we just
seems to
hearing
be,
about
doesn't
it
it?
now?
I don't know. It's
It has me
it might,
terrified.
yeah, a bit of both. I think it's a bit of both. We're hearing about it more, and there is more. But I think the scary thing that I find is, I don't know, let me just say this right. It's it seems like it's anybody could be human trafficked now.
Hmm.
I think maybe in the past it would maybe be prostitutes and people that are on the brink, on
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
fringes of society.
Hmm.
Is that okay to say?
Yes. Yeah.
And I think the way it's changed now is anyone's. It could be anybody, anyone's daughter, son, and it is son.
Well,
It is boys as well as girls.
yes. Well, I see a lot of stuff on TikTok about like women who go out to their cars and there's like a piece of tape across the door handle or the front bumper or something, and they talk about it, and or they've had ones where there's a baby stroller, looks like a baby's in it, and a woman will go to it and they've been kidnapped, or $100 bill sitting next to a car door, a parked car. Somebody goes over, and now this one, for instance, I don't live very far from Six Flags in Texas, and a couple of years ago, my husband and son had gone to Six Flags, and they had come out, and there was a big commotion in the parking lot. And there was a bunch of cops there and stuff. And what had happened was, as it turned out, we saw on the news, was that there was a like $100 bill on the ground next to a parked car, and these this group of a couple of teenage girls, two or three, went out to their car. Was parked, so this car was parked next to their car, but you had to walk a little bit, like a space, to pick up the money, and somebody tried to open the door and tried to grab her. Um, but her friends weren't about having that happen, so they helped fight them off, and they ended up leaving the parking lot. But the cops came and they gave them all the information and stuff. So it's to the point now where, and I always wonder, like, is this real? Is this a is this except for that part because I was on the news and everything? But are these like urban legends things where somebody puts
Yeah,
a baby out there and you go to help the baby and you get kidnapped? But there's like thousands of people that go missing, and the first thought when they're doing the news or whatever, and like a young child goes missing, like 8, 4, whatever, 10, 15, that their first thought is that it could be, if it's not a known person, like the parent that doesn't have custody, that it would be a human trafficker.
I worry about my daughters.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
well,
worry about
like
my
I've said
children.
here before, and I told you, I've loaded my girls up with, mace and alarms. They can push the button for the alarm to go off. Um, you know, knives. Just, and my husband is a karate instructor, a black belt in Kempo, who's taught them how to defend themselves, and we've taught my son from a small age too, because like you said, it's boys. It's not just girls.
And it always seems to, in my opinion, from my experience of watching stuff on the news and stuff, it was always people were trafficked from sort of countries like third world countries, and
Mhm.
you know, but it's not now.
Mhm. Yes.
It's from America. It's from the UK. It's from
Mhm.
crazy, just absolutely crazy.
And we have so many states that are coastal states and border states that it feels like there's a lot of opportunity,
Yeah,
and that's scary. And you live in a coastal area.
yeah,
Well, this has
yeah.
been depressing.
Well, we got onto this.
I don't know. It's a scary world out there right now.
Hmm.
Like every way possible.
I mean, is it more scary than necrophilia? I don't know.
I think the scariest thing about necrophilia is that apparently that special STD you can get.
I was telling I told Keisha a story, not about that.
About necrophilia? What kind
No,
of
it was not
stories do you
about.
talk about at your house?
I don't think I've ever told you this. I and she asked she kept asking me to tell her the story again and again because she thought it was so funny. I don't know if it is funny, but basically, a long time ago, when I first came out of the army and I wasn't ill, I was quite a big lad into bodybuilding and sort of took steroids, and I was huge. I was massive, and I used to work on the door. I used to work on this hotel called the Britannia Hotel in Manchester, which
Explain what it means is when you say you worked on the door.
I was a doorman. I a
Like a
bouncer,
bouncer. Yeah.
yeah. Um, and we had this worked in this really nice hotel, and the bottom floor of the hotel was a nightclub. And then if you imagine the middle of the hotel, it had this really ornate staircase to get you in, and it was really lovely. The hotel, very posh, very fancy. But behind the hotel was the bus station, a coach station,
Mm.
and there was a lot of prostitutes and stuff like that. And then there was an area that had been done up with the old factories and stuff, and it was called Canal Street, and it was all gay pubs and gay clubs, and it was called the Gay Village. So anyway, I used to wear black shoes, black trousers, a white shirt, black dicky bow, and black jacket,
Mm-hmm.
a black like a black blazer type thing,
Mm-hmm.
and just get a drink. So Keisha's listening, right, to this word for word. So I thought for some bizarre reason that I forgot myself a waistcoat. It would look good. It would look nice, and I could wear just my white shirt with dicky bow with a waistcoat.
Uh-huh.
Um, so I bought myself a leather waistcoat, black
Is
leather
that like a
waistcoat.
I don't know what a waistcoat is. Is that like a vest?
It goes underneath you. If you like getting married,
Yeah.
you would wear a shirt, you'd wear a waistcoat, and then you'd wear your shirt, your suit
Got it.
jacket over your
Yep,
shirt.
I got it. Yep. Okay, I got it.
So I thought I'll get myself a leather one, black leather, obviously. So I was wearing it, and I had my sleeves rolled up, and obviously I was a big lad. Now, to get to the gay village, you used to walk. You used to have to walk past the club, past the hotel, and then turn left into the gay village. And all these fucking blokes kept giving me a fucking phone, giving me their phone number, and I was like, "What's going on?" And the guy I was working with, I said, "Why did everybody got? Why does everybody keep giving me the fucking phone number? All these blokes." He went, "Have you looked in the fucking mirror? You look like one of the village people." So I took it off and put my jacket back on.
Black leather, no less.
Yeah, and I just didn't. I'm a
All
bit.
you need
I just,
all you needed was some chaps.
yeah.
YMCA. Hey, but you know what, Rob?
What's that?
At least you knew you were attractive.
I don't think it was anything to do with how I looked. I think it was more to do with the size and the fact that I was working on the door. I don't know. But Keisha thought it was so funny, honestly.
Oh my gosh. How did
If
that come
I
up?
don't know, but if I can just, the girls love nothing better than to sit and listen to me talk about shit.
Yeah.
Honestly, they they would happily just sit and listen to stories. I've got a lot of stories,
Yeah, me
and
too.
they find it really really funny. And yeah, Grace not so much now, but Keisha, oh, some of the conversations me and Keisha have are crazy.
Yeah, I have a lot of stories too.
And the thing that surprised me, she knew who the village people were.
Did she?
Yeah,
That's
maybe through
funny.
school. I don't know.
Smart girl. That's funny. My husband has this thing where women flirt with him right in front of me. Like they don't even care.
Mm.
And when I'm in the hospital, he always stays, and they fall all over themselves to make him a bed. It's the weirdest thing. They're like, "Oh, here. Oh, do you need more blankets? Let me get you some sheets. So let me get you some pillows." And okay, okay. So so I was in the hospital, yeah, recently, and um, you know, in bed, and at the kind of towards the end, the foot of my bed is where his bed is, and it's right underneath where they write everything out. Today, your nurses are this, this, and that. Your doctor is this. Your tests are going to be this, this, and that. Your medications are this, this, and that, and you're due to have them at this, that, and this time. So she came in, she brought me my pain meds, and she had to write. Um, I was getting a combination of pain meds. So she had to write the time she gave it, and the time I could have it next. And for anybody who's listening, the reason they do that is so that you can call them and tell them, listen, it's time for my medication. It's not just so the next nurses know. It's so you can tell them. That's what they told me. It's in case something happens, and they won't give you pain medicine unless you ask for it. So just so
Yeah.
you know. Anyway, I know and you feel like weird doing it, but anyway, she literally had to straddle my husband's head. I'm not even joking. She straddled my husband's head to write on the board, and then she said to me, "I hope I don't fall down and crush him." What? With your parts? It's the weirdest thing. And he was asleep. He didn't know that until I told him later. And of course I told him, but he gets all blushy. They're like, "Oh my God, you're the board man for today? He's our board man." And then the other nurse will come out because the hospitals I go to, I always get three nurses. It's a long story, but uh, they always tell the next one, like, he's the board man. He's going to write everything you need because he's so nice. And they're always like, "Oh my God, his husband's never spend the night." And I think that's the deal. I think that's what they find attractive. It's like seeing a man wash dishes. They're it He's in a caregiver mode and it makes their uteruses pop. And and so they're like it's very weird. I think he likes it when I have to go to the hospital. Gets his little ego stroked. Oh.
Yeah, he's a good bloke, though, JD.
Well, yes, he is. They're right. He is.
Mm.
But you don't need to go straddling his head. I don't think. I mean, I don't think. But who nobody asked me. We're going to a Christmas party tonight.
Oh, is it tonight?
Yes, it's tonight.
Oh, nice one.
And have you ever heard of tomahawk steaks?
Tomahawk steaks.
Yeah, they're now picture this because you might know it by the way it looks. It's got a really long bone attached.
Is it like a T-bone?
Well, actually, it's a oh my God, what's my favorite kind of steak? It's a
Sirloin?
no, hold
Ribeye?
on. Ribeye. My favorite kind of steak is ribeye, and this is a type of ribeye, and the bone is a rib that sticks
Right.
out. They're 40 ounces.
Oh,
What?
sounds like
40 ounces of steak, and then they're having a bunch of sides and stuff. I it's it's gonna take me 4 days. I'm gonna bring a pillow and a blanket. I don't I don't. Is it possible to eat a 40-ounce steak?
well, years
It
ago.
is the weight and is some of the weight in the bone.
Yeah, of course it is. It's got to be on it.
I hope so.
We um as I was saying before, I used to do a lot of training, and I was stupid enough to take steroids. Um, one of the things that steroids do, I was taking the crap that they give to racehorses and all sorts of
Oh,
weird.
jeez.
They used to give me a huge appetite, and after work we used to go to Manchester. I used to meet my girlfriend at the time, and we used to go to this place called the Royal Central, which was a restaurant, and they had this meal deal thing where they could gave you a huge steak like what you were saying,
Uh-huh.
loads of chips, like a mixed grill,
Uh-huh.
egg and other stuff. And if you could eat it all within sort of 45 minutes, you got the meal for free.
Mhm.
And it was I can remember it being £15. This is like this is a few years ago, probably 12, 13 years ago. So it was a lot of money for £15.
Uh-huh.
I could eat it in about 15 minutes.
Really?
I was literally when we used to go out for Sunday meal, for Sunday dinner, to a pub, I used to order two Sunday dinners
Really?
and I would eat one and eat the other. Honestly, it was ridiculous. I just couldn't stop eating. And then I'd have to go and train like a lunatic. Um, it was just like a vicious circle. That's what steroids do.
Did they make you mean?
Um, when I had a drink, yeah, they made me a bit off my head,
Ah.
but I was a bit off my head anyway. So,
I
I don't know whether that added to it. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. I'm not sure.
mean, even if when I have to take like the kind of steroids you take when you're sick, it makes me really like in a bad mood. So I can't even imagine like taking steroids meant for horses. Did
Mm.
it make you crave apples?
No, it
Yeah.
made me it made me want to train like a lunatic.
Really?
Really heavy, train really heavy,
Huh.
which obviously is for if you if you train using heavier weights, you're basically bulking up,
Uh-huh.
and
So what made you
it got
stop doing that?
um I was getting ridiculous. The size was getting ridiculous,
Hmm.
and my doctor told me that I needed to stop because they can affect your heart when you're older, and
Mm-hmm.
which I am having problems with my heart now.
Hmm.
Um, I just was everybody was sort of looking at the negative side of stuff and kept getting into trouble. So I was trying to to sort of come off that, do it that way. But they are quite addictive, actually.
Are they?
Well, I found they were. I
Hmm.
found that they were. I really struggled with them. I struggled to come off them some
Really?
degree, but yeah, yeah. But we all do stupid things when we're young, don't we?
Well, yeah. I mean, I've done one or two stupid things.
Hmm.
Several,
Yeah.
maybe.
So, have you got any idea what our next podcast is going to be about?
No, we should have people leave suggestions.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, if people, you know.
Yeah, I do have a video coming up this week before Christmas. Um, I'm gonna tell a story.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah, I'm excited.
You've not wrote one for a
Um,
while.
uh, yeah, it's been a long time, 2 years. So, but is it real or not? That's gonna be the thing here. Maybe it's real. Maybe it's not. You'll have to decide. I'm excited about this too. I'm not. Yeah, you'll see. Um, I'm excited to get back into doing things. I've been putting things in folders. I lost 222 um, articles that I have saved up to do stories on. Just disappeared out of my iPad and l- literally almost had me in tears.
Yeah, told me that.
Yeah, it happened the day before we went for our staycation,
Ah, right.
and I couldn't get it back. I don't I don't I pay extra for the cloud so I can keep stuff like that, and it wasn't even in the cloud. I don't know where they went. 222 articles. I So that was upsetting. But I've started putting more articles into files and doing it a little bit different way this time so that I can't lose. I literally my iPad updated and it sucked them into the atmosphere somewhere. So I got to restart that, but it's okay. I'll do it. I'm excited about getting back into it. I've missed it a lot and interacting with everybody and little chit chats.
Mm.
So that's what's coming up. So keep your eyes out, guys, because you're going to be getting alerts as you have a video coming. Also, I'm still doing the giveaway, but I still got to get to 3,000. Now I'm pedaling backwards. I'm like rowing backwards now, having lost the 40 subs. But leave comments on the videos. That's how you enter. Preferably something about the video because then I know that you're not just leaving not leaving a comment just to that and you didn't watch the video is what I'm trying to say. Although if you've made it this far, congratulations. We've covered a lot of topics, Rob.
Yep.
This is
So,
exactly how Rob and I's phone conversations go. All over the map.
mm,
And
yeah.
sometimes really weird. We do solve a lot of the world's problems though.
Yeah. Yeah, we do certainly do that.
Well, Rob, I've enjoyed having you here.
Thank you. I've enjoyed being here.
Thank you for joining me.
That's all.
And you guys leave suggestions for our next podcast. What do you guys want to hear us talk about? What should we cover? Um, I mean, the list is endless. Go ahead and decide, pick topics, and we can do them all eventually.
Yeah.
So that'd be great. And if I don't talk to you before then, which not you, but them, which other than my next video, I probably won't. You guys have a Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Have a great, great Christmas.
Stay
Peaceful
safe.
Christmas. Stay safe.
Yes, a peaceful Christmas. And I'll get back on this my nose to the grindstone. So if you look forward to that, then good. Good, because I am.
All right, guys.
All right. Please give this video a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Good night,
Share it.
Rob. Yes, share it with friends, family, enemies. We don't care. Just share. It's free.
Hmm.
All
Good.
right.
Goodbye, Trace.
Goodbye, Rob.
Bye.